Welcome back, everyone. Today, Alex and I are discussing recruiting guarantees. Alex, you mentioned you recently saw a sign that said shorter hair this way, guaranteed. Care to elaborate on that and how it ties into our topic?
Yeah, Tyler. So thanks for the intro. I was driving to get the oil changed in my truck, and I saw this sign that said shorter hair this way, guaranteed. And I figured that must have been a sign for a barbershop. Being like completely in the recruiting space, I couldn't help but starting to think about recruiting guarantees. And I think that, like, on its face, the problem with recruiting guarantees is it implies somehow that the recruiter has control or more significant influence over the outcome of somebody, like of a new hire, whether or not the new hire is successful. Then, for example, the onboarding program, the decision the client's made on who to hire. Really, it's essentially the problem with that guarantee is that it's taking responsibility for something that no recruiter can control.
Thanks for sharing that anecdote, Alex. It's interesting how a simple sign can trigger such deep thoughts about our industry. So if I'm getting this right, you're saying that recruiting guarantees can be problematic because they suggest that recruiters have control over aspects that they actually don't, like the success of a new hire, which is influenced by factors beyond just the recruitment process. Is that correct?
Yeah, essentially, I went to go get my oil changed, and as I was sitting there thinking, how weird would it be if Valvoline or Jiffy Lube offered a guarantee, something like, we guarantee that your car is going to run for the next 10,000 miles or 7,500 miles or 5,000 miles, whatever the duration of the oil change is. I think it would undermine their brand. I think that people would pull up and hear about how this is going to guarantee, the car. I would immediately start going, wait, what's wrong here? There's something that's off. And I think that essentially Valvoline can't control what happens to your car after it leaves their shop, especially for an oil change. And then a recruiter can't guarantee what's going to happen with a candidate after it's submitted.
That's a really solid comparison, Alex. Just like Valvoline can't guarantee your car will run perfectly after an oil change, recruiters can't guarantee a new hire's success after they're onboarded. There are just too many variables at play, like the onboarding process, the company's environment, and the new hire's adaptability. What do you think businesses should focus on instead of offering recruiting guarantees? How can they set realistic expectations while still ensuring quality hires?
The reality is that recruiters can't ensure quality hires because at the end of the day, the hiring team are the ones that are going to make the decisions about who they're bringing onto their team. And no one's infallible. No one is going to make a perfect hiring decision. And at the end of the day, the industry leaders, your 500 or your 800-pound gorillas in every industry, recognize that our goal isn't to hire perfect. Our goal is to hire enough people and hire well enough that we can beat a coin flip, essentially. They're just trying to beat the coin flip by a fraction. And this is backed up by industrial and organizational psychology studies. Essentially, the game is to hire good enough. But that takes me outside of our topic today, and I think returning back to it, I think that all businesses should guarantee what they can control. So in the anecdote that we started with, the barbershop can control that they're going to guarantee that you're going to get your haircut. It's going to be shorter than when you walk in. Okay, that's a good guarantee because that's something they can control. But if they said, we guarantee you're going to like your haircut, boy, that's a tough one. So I think there's a counter argument here. Somebody might say, Men's Warehouse guarantee, you're going to like the way you look. The thing about the difference between a haircut and buying a suit is that you can try the suit on before you decide to buy it. With a haircut, you're stuck with a haircut, and goodness knows how good your instructions were to your barber or to your stylist prior to that. I just think that it's just fundamentally off. It's a fundamental rot in the industry that there are recruiters out there offering guarantees and that there are clients out there even asking for them. So going back to your original question, Tyler, was like, what would you recommend? I'd recommend you guarantee the things you control. For Percivis and for our group, we guarantee that we're going to execute our process at a high level, the same as we do for everybody, for years. So that's our guarantee. Our guarantee is that we're going to do everything that we can do, that we tell you we're going to do, and you're going to benefit from the results.
The key takeaway here is that businesses and recruiters should focus on guaranteeing what they can control. For instance, guaranteeing a high level of execution in their process rather than the ultimate success of a new hire, which is influenced by numerous factors outside their control. To wrap this up, it sounds like you're advocating for transparency and realistic expectations in recruiting. Instead of overpromising, it's about delivering consistently on what you can control and ensuring clients understand the variables at play. Thanks for sharing your insights, Alex. This has been a really enlightening conversation about recruiting guarantees and what businesses should truly be focusing on. To our listeners, if you have any thoughts or experiences on this topic, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time.